Hey, what's going on? This is Scott Ziegler. I'm a teaching artist with Boston Music Project, and today I'm just going to walk you through how to create an entry into our beat battle. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to want to download the sample. Following the link in our bio, you're going to end up here, and you're going to see sample. Click the link to download this month's sample. So we're going to click download. And I will just download that file. While that's downloading, next I'm going to head over to BandLab. You can use whatever platform you want. BandLab is great because it's free and it's already in the Google ecosystem, which if you're a Boston Public Schools student, means it's pretty easy to just sign right up. And it's a pretty capable program. I recommend it a lot. But you can use whatever you want. But today we'll use BandLab. So I started a blank track. Just to get started, I'm going to hit voice audio just to make a track. No thanks, I've got this. So if we look at the sample here, it says it's in the key of F minor and it's at 167 beats per minute. So the first thing that we're going to want to do is to set up our session with those things in mind. So I'm going to change my tempo right here to 167 beats per minute, and I'm going to set the key to F minor. Now, why we want to do that before we pull the sample in is that means that, for one, our sample will snap naturally to the grid here in BandLab, but it also means that if we want to use any of the BandLab loops that are available later, that the loops will transpose into the correct key for us, and that way, more than likely, we'll be able to make things work with a few edits without having to really make many adjustments. So it helps to set the key before we import anything, right? So now we've got 167 beats per minute. We're in the key of F minor. And now we're going to go to my downloads here. Or rather like this. And we're going to pull the file in. Okay, great. So let's give it a listen. Cool. All right. I like it. It's kind of epic. I'm not sure I love this tempo. I might try to speed it up a little bit. Let's see. So when I speed things up, it's asking, do I want it to stretch the audio to match the new tempo? And pretty much always I'm going to want to say yes, adjust the audio. Cool. So first thing I'm going to do is start by adding some drums. There's a number of ways to add drums in BandLab, and I like to use different techniques for different reasons. But for right now, I'm just going to add some kicks and snares. So I'm going to use the drum machine here, which creates two patterns, an A and a B pattern. Right now, I'm going to just delete the B pattern. Delete the B pattern. And we're going to focus on just the A pattern for right now. I'm going to leave it looping. And then I'm going to clear this pattern down here. So let's see. Start by just adding a snare on beat 3. Let's hear that in context. Great. I like that. Now, where the drum machine becomes a little bit limiting is that it's very short phrases, right? This is a 1-bar loop right now, which, especially at a tempo like 190 beats per minute, can get pretty redundant. So now to add another layer of drums, I'm going to actually hit add track and do a virtual instrument. And I can go over and choose drum kits. So let's see. right now I'm just looking for a kick drum that I like. I like that kick a lot. I don't love the rest of those sounds, but that's okay. We're just going to use it for the kick. So now I'll create a region. And now I might make this more like 4 bars, right? Let's see. Zoom out so I can see more. And I'll have this loop. And I'll start filling in a pattern here. So now I'm adding another layer, and this time I'm going to just focus on the hi-hat. So I'm just going to be looking for a hi-hat sound that I like. Let's see. Can't go wrong with the 808. All right. Let's see. I may make a slightly shorter hi-hat loop. All right, let's see. So a lot of times when I'm thinking of the drums, I'm thinking of the kick and the snare are often kind of in conversation with one another. But the hi-hat's job is sort of to subdivide, to keep time, and to sort of kind of moderate the conversation between the kick and the snare drum. So right now I just had straight 8th notes going through the whole thing, and now I'm going to add maybe a few variations. I might, let's see, let's listen and see how this is working. Actually, I'm going to make the hi-hat pattern 4 bars also, because it's more fun. It's more fun if we can make more things happen. So, let's see, can I get on that? Put some triplets here. Why not? Some more 8th notes. Maybe we'll do some 16th notes here. Why not? Let's hear how this all works. I like it. Cool, so we've got the beginnings of something, but I kind of would prefer if it had a bit of an intro. So I'm going to actually move most of the drums over to here. Let's see. Except the hi-hats, I have a plan for the hi-hats. I'm going to add a filter. Let's see, what do we have for filters here? Tone. Multi-filter. Great. A low-pass filter. Perfect. And we're going to start that all the way down. So what a low-pass filter does is it cuts out all of the frequencies above the point that we set here. So 30 hertz. 30 hertz is really low. I don't even think we can hear 30 hertz. So that means that right now we're not going to hear anything from the hi-hats. Let's listen. Exactly. But what I'm going to do is create some automation so that gradually that filter is going to open up as we lead to the drop with the drums. Let's listen. we're actually going to go the full 8 bars before we let everything come in. And we're going to do the same with the automation. Full 8 bars. Love it. Okay, cool. Now I think I might do something similar with the sample itself. I think I might also do kind of a filter thing. Let's see. Tone. We're going to use that same multi-filter, low pass. And we're going to do a similar thing, but I'm going to add one other layer to it that I'll tell you about in 1 second. So we'll do that, but we're also going to do a reverb. And we're going to start with it sounding like it's really, really far away. And then what we're going to do is automate it to sound closer and closer until by the time it comes in, it's going to be totally dry. So let's see. Let's hear how this sounds. So it's going to make it sound like it's like distant and covered and almost in the other room. And then it's going to gradually come right into our face. Let's hear it. Ooh, I actually liked how that sounded where the sample cut off there. So we're going to try something. We're going to copy the sample over here and paste it. Do I want to move automation? Great question. No, I don't. Thanks for asking. And I'm actually going to trim the sample. I liked that sound of a break on beat 1. And I'm going to actually do the same thing with the hi-hats. So we're going to loop those over. However, we're going to put a slice here. And we're going to trim that this way. Come on now. Ooh, I don't want to trim the whole loop, so we're going to go like this. Copy, paste, trim this one. Let's hear how that sounds. Ooh, okay. Actually, better idea is we're actually going to recreate the same automation that we did in the intro, but it's going to happen instead of over 8 bars, it's going to happen over 2 beats, so it's going to be much more drastic. Let's see if we can make that happen. Spring reverb amount. We're going to double click here. Like that. We're going to go to our multi-filter frequency. Let's say. Dope. I like that. So now, let's see. I mean, right now that's already 30 seconds, right? So for this beat battle, beats need to be at least 30 seconds. So I don't, we've got a strong intro. We've got the cool little drop there. I don't want to make it too long where people lose interest. In general, I feel like it's better to have it that people want to go, oh, let me listen to that again, instead of kind of wearing out their interest on the first listen. But I would like to have something else happen, maybe some type of beat switch here. And I notice we're at 190 beats per minute, which is a great tempo to maybe go into like a Jersey club type of a thing, right? You got to play to your audience, right? So we're thinking, okay, Jersey clubs having a bit of a moment. Let's see if we can incorporate it into what we're doing. All right. So Jersey clubs, very simple pattern, right? Oh, you know what? That's where our snare was. So we're going to we're not going to use that. We're going to use this track. Create a region. Again, Jersey clubs, simple pattern. It's on beat 1, it's on beat 2, and then it's on beat 3. It's on the last 16th of beat 3. It's on the end of 4, and we end up with this. Cool. I think because I'm going to have this kind of be my outro, I'm really just going to focus on the back half here of the sample, the kind of turnaround. And what I'm going to do, and this is kind of a bit of a trick that you hear often in the Jersey Club stuff, is I'm going to basically cut the sample to kind of mimic the kick pattern, right? So let's see. We'll slice. Let's see. Alrighty, give a preview here. Ooh, I kind of like it playing out there at the end. Let's try doing it again here. Do a little cut. Do a little cut. Let's see. All right. That's pretty interesting. We'll have that loop out maybe for a little while. Why aren't you selecting? There we go. We'll copy that. And actually, I'm going to show one other kind of cool thing that we could do with it, which is, so we'll let this happen a couple times. Let's see. What if we use the sampler? It says turn any sound into an instrument. Okay. So we're going to want to import the file. Go to my downloads here. Should be right here at the top. Great. Now, we can kind of use it like an instrument, right? But maybe we want to change the pitch. Like, what if we put it up an octave? That's pretty cool. I wonder, what if we did that backwards? I like that. That's pretty cool. Let's see. So I'm going to add that note here. And we're going to let that just be the full 2 bars here. That's kind of interesting. Now, I don't know if both of those ideas work. Maybe we have to pick one we like better. Okay. Those feel like two competing ideas. And I think I like the reverse pitched up sample idea better. So we're actually going to scrap this. And we're going to try something different. Let's see. And now the more I hear it, the less I feel like it's working. Let's see. Okay. So I actually shift gears a little bit. So if you recognize this from before, this is that Jersey Club rhythm. Or close to it, if I hadn't screwed that up a little bit. There we go. That's the issue here. We want that. What is going on? We want. Let's see. Great. I like that. And I'm going to copy that. Paste that. I'll try. Yeah, it's different. I'm not mad at it. Let's see if we can add back the Jersey Club kick drum here. So I'm thinking of this as being like kind of a cool, weird outro. Like not something, this isn't a section that I feel like I could even tolerate listening to for a long time because it's kind of repetitive and weird. But that's also maybe a great place to kind of leave your listener is like, that's so different. I wonder what's gonna happen. I often think of like, if I'm imagining maybe a fade out here at the end of the song, and it's one of those things where during a fade out, you kind of want to have it be intriguing and interesting, where you're like, kind of feels like you're leaving a party early, and you're like, what's gonna happen for the rest of this party? So I'm not totally sure this section is giving us all that, but at least that's sort of the idea. So what I might try is to do some more kind of interesting automation with these to try and kind of get them to be a little more dynamic and interesting. Let's try adding an auto filter to the samples. That's kind of cool. It's not doing a whole lot though. An echo could be kind of interesting. Okay, I'm intrigued by that. So we're going to loop this out a little bit longer. And we're also going to have just like a normal low pass filter on the samples that will just kind of gradually fade them out, which I think will make the less of those high frequencies we have, the more sort of tolerable it's going to be on our ears. So I'm going to add some automation there. We're looking at the multi-filter frequency. Pretty much from the jump of that section, we're going to start going here, doing this. Let's see. Cool. We're going to do a similar thing on the kick drum, actually. There's something about, so when we use a low pass filter right here, this is not resonance. Resonance is basically like how dramatic is the point at which we're cutting off the filter, right? So with the kick drum, which has a lot of low frequencies, if I make it particularly dramatic, when we where that frequency is being cut off, it's going to kind of make for some really punchy and interesting sounds as we sweep the filter down lower and lower and lower. So let's listen. I'm going to turn that resonance up even more. Actually, I'm going to have it automate to go even more intensely as it goes on. So let's see. Let's hear that. Cool. Kind of it's not quite a volume fade out. It's more like a tonal fade out with the frequencies, but pretty cool. All right, so let's see. I'm about ready to be done and to submit my beat, but I just want to focus on a few quick things, which is the transition. So let's listen back from the top. So this is an area where I want to see if I can find like a nice cymbal. Love that. So we're going to put that here. But what we're actually going to do is we're going to reverse it. This is like the oldest trick in the book. Reverse cymbal leading to our big drop. So watch this. A bit of a longer fade. Yeah, I wonder if we could even stretch it out. That's all right. Okay, so I like that, and I feel like similarly we could use a little bit of a transitional sound going into the outro section. So maybe I don't like that sound. These aren't great. Let's see. Let's try searching for a crash. I don't know what that sound is. That one's got a weird vibe to it. I like it. Let's see. Let's see. I'm going to go down a few semitones, which I think will make it sound a little bit less harsh. We go down quite a bit more. Let's see. Turn that track down a bit. Great. Cool. The last thing I'm going to do is just see if there are any like interesting loops, particularly like maybe percussion loops or just because percussion loops will kind of work with any sort of type of sample, you know what I mean? Like they're not tonal. So things that have notes are the notes gonna work? Are they not gonna work? With percussion stuff, it's like if the tempo and the groove line up, then it should be fine. So let's see. I'm gonna search for some loops. See if anything catches our ears. These are melodic ones, so maybe they won't work, but maybe they will. That's cool. I kind of like that for this outro section. Let's see if it fits. Yeah, not really. I wonder if we started it over here. Let's see. Yeah, I'm forcing it. Let's look. See if there's anything else that we like. Let's see. Now, this actually might be a great way to try and connect our two sections. So if there's an element that like continues between the two, it might kind of make them a little more of a gradual transition. All right, I like it. I don't love the way it sounds in the very last bar here, so I'm going to cut it there. We're going to hit slice that there. We'll trim that back. Take out this last bar here. And we're going to have that kind of fade in a bit longer. Well, let me grab the fade. Fade in a bit longer. And I like that sound. It feels a little bit all up in my face. So I'm going to put some reverb on it to make it sound a little further away. And I may even filter out a little bit of the highs to make it sound a little further away. Let's see. Let's see, actually, I'm going to try, see if I could maybe change the last note here to just work with what's there. Slice, and can I put it up a semitone? Let's see. Cool. And we are just going to have that filter out as well. What happened to our reverb? Oh, our reverb was on the drums. That's not what we wanted. Let's get that reverb in the right place, which is on the violin. And we're going to have that just do a volume fade. I think we might have our whole beat. Let's listen to it. Pretty cool. 43 seconds long. Not too much to it. We got a cool intro. We've got a drop in there. We've got a different kind of unique outro. So now we're ready to go. So I'm going to hit the 3 bars over here. Go to Project, Download, Mix Down as. And that's going to create a mix that I can download. And I'll go back over to the form. And then I can upload my beat. I'm entered into the beat battle, and hopefully I'll win some free studio time. Let's see. We're going to download it as a high-quality MP3. So now that's downloaded. I can go back over to the beat battle form, and if I go all the way down to the bottom, it'll say submit your beat here. I can hit add file, and I can drag it in from my downloads, new project. Drag it right in. Great. Fill in the rest of this information, and I have entered into the beat battle. Looking forward to hearing your beats. Thanks for checking this out.